What the heck? See what ES is doing here. Alright, good morning. Thank you guys so much for joining a live stream. Thank you. Today here on NQ, I do not have a bias. There isn't really much displacement this entire week so far, Monday, Tuesday, and coming into the New York AM session during Wednesday. We don't have much displacement to the upside, and one fair value gap that I was looking for was this 4-hour fair value gap that we created when we displaced higher yesterday. It looks like we are not going to respect this 4-hour fair value gap. And what does that mean? That means we could possibly seek yesterday's low depending on how we close here on the 4-hour candle in about 37 more minutes. So now I would give it some time, because at the New York AM morning bell, anything could happen. So like I said, be careful of that. But yeah, coming into today, I'm not really anticipating too much. One thing I do want to note is we did take out both Asia's highs and Asia's lows, and then we continued to kind of consolidate, manipulated during London. London took out Asia's highs, created the high right now. So the high of day is London highs, and we took out London lows, and then now we are continuing to drift lower. Whenever I say drift, we don't have much, like the move down isn't strong. It's not fast. And if you guys take a look here on the dollar, we're expanding, and we're expanding a lot. And whenever we're expanding like this on the dollar, I don't like to see NQ and ES trading higher, which is one of the reasons why it's it's not favorable right now, to be honest. It appears that we are most likely going to create an up-close weekly candle. So we already created the low, I'm assuming here, at Sunday's opening. We dipped into the daily fair value gap, and as I stated in my weekly market outlook, if we respect this daily fair value gap, we should take out previous week's high, which we did end up respecting it. We respected the daily fair value gap, and we ended up taking out previous week's high, and we are just continuing to expand higher now. Us expanding higher here on NQ or on the dollar means that we should be trading lower here on the indices, which we are not. We aren't respecting any bearish fair value gaps on the indices, and we're just kind of like consolidating. I'm sure we're probably waiting for the election. That's probably what I'm guessing here, is we're waiting for the election to make that move. But I don't know. It's too speculative. But yeah, as of right now, I would just get back today, to be honest. I don't have a daily bias. My daily bias is kind of, I don't really know. And my weekly bias, already coming into this week, I was not sure if we were going to take out previous week's low or previous week's high. So I didn't have a weekly objective. And I told myself I would only be trading intraday models. So, and let's see here. So I had a bullish bias here on Monday. We ended up completing that bullish bias, and then I had a bullish bias coming into Tuesday. We took out Monday's highs, and now based on how we closed here on Tuesday, I don't have a bias. That's completely fine. And yeah, we have about 3 minutes left or so in. I have 3 minutes left to wait for New York AM market open at 9:30 Eastern time. But yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's all I really do have for as of analysis. Yes, yeah, it appears we could probably take out yesterday's low of day, so that's something that we could watch out for coming into this morning. So let's see where the NQ's low is. So NQ and ES is low. We haven't taken out yet. We haven't taken out previous day low yet on NQ or ES. So one of these indices, I feel like at the morning could take out that low. But let's just continue to watch PA. There's no reason to select the side yet. I would like I said, I would like to see how we close here on the 4-hour candle before I make any moves. So based on how we close here on the 4-hour candle and the 8-hour candle will give me a bias for the New York AM session. And yeah, before I get started, how has everybody's weeks been doing? Have you guys been doing okay? I do know that we haven't had much like clear moves here, at least on NQ, because if you take a look, Monday back and forth, Tuesday back and forth. It's literally consolidation that we're in. we are in a higher time frame consolidation, so that means we just have to trade intraday models. I have to constantly remind myself that like this higher time frame wise, we are in a consolidation. We are waiting for a news event that would take us in a certain direction. Now bring in volatility. Let's see what's happening. A lot of bull crap is happening. That's what's happening. Let's see if ES will take out previous day low here. So it did come to my attention that I should be going over the pros and cons and improvements here with you guys. So let's actually do that right now. All right. Give me 1 second. Gotta make sure my account is linked to my platform here. Cause every time you all right, so during last week I was able to point out these pros and cons here. So last week some of the pros, or I guess one of the pros from last week, was when I took the model on October 17th. So this model right here, I was able to come into conclusion that we had two higher time frame objectives here, right? So first thing was that I drew up from this swing low to this swing high. We had a there's a dealing range, and within that dealing range there's discount and premium. So in this objective here, at least one of the objectives here in this trade was for us to continue lower to trade into discount of the dealing range. So that's an objective, right? Prices always wants to retrace back into discount. So you don't want to be a buyer in premium, you want to be a buyer in discount. So in the for this idea here, we wanted to short into discount. So that means we're basically shorting in premium, which makes sense. And the other objective here was based on how we created this 4-hour candle and how we created this 4-hour fair value gap. This suggests the idea that we will most likely retrace and rebalance this 4-hour fair value gap. So you don't anticipate for prices to take out this 4-hour high first, right? I'm anticipating for prices to retrace back inside and rebalance this 4-hour fair value gap, meaning I want to see prices take out this 4-hour low. So going back to the pros, I understood higher time frame narrative, right? Higher time frame narrative there in that trade specifically, like I said, was for us to continue lower, to retrace into discount, and to rebalance a 4-hour fair value gap. So that means higher time frame is suggesting lower prices. So all I have to do here is align myself. So go onto the lower time frames here and find a 15-minute model that aligns with the 4-hour/1-hour model. And I was able to do that. Like I said, we had two reasons why prices was to continue lower. I went onto the lower time frames. There was a 15-minute model here. I wanted to take this trade here based with the idea that we're going to take out this 15-minute low, and after we take out 15-minute low, we could continue lower, like I said, to rebalance that fair value gap, that 4-hour fair value gap, and to retrace back into discount. And yeah, that was one of the pros. And some of the cons here from last week was not taking into account SMT whenever I was in a trade. We had SMTs at the target highs, and instead of de-risking or, you know, considering it, I kind of disregarded it. And yeah. Which is something that goes against my plan, because SMT is pretty important, is very important, I guess, because SMT shows manipulation. If there's SMT, that means that move higher could have been just a manipulation move on one of the indices, and you don't want to be caught up in the manipulation move. Yeah, so that's one of the cons. Like I said, is not paying attention or not really giving it too much thought about the SMT. And another con was not having a clear objective. So the pro that I had here, the pro was that I was able to find out the higher time frame objective for the trade on Thursday. But the trade here before Thursday, October 16th, I believe, I didn't have an objective. There was no clear objective for me besides taking out that 15-minute models high or low. So on the higher time frames, there wasn't really anything that suggested for a continuation higher. We didn't have, we weren't rebalancing a fair value gap. We weren't retracing back into premium or discount. And we didn't have like another higher time frame draw liquidity. It was simply just a 15-minute model without any higher time frame confluence, which is something that I'm going to implement this week, is for me to require some sort of a higher time frame objective. And yeah. So some of the improvements here is being selective with the trades, and having, like I said, a clear objective. Are we rebalancing a fair value gap? No. Are we retracing back into premium or discount? No. If I can't answer, if I say no to those questions, I'm not taking that model. Yeah. So second thing, pay attention to SMT. If there's SMT between the markets at the target highs or lows, then consider de-risking or just not taking that model in general. And the third thing is be patient. You're never forced to take a trade. If you're confident and have conviction in that model, then you should take it. But if you don't, then that's something that you could work on, improve on, and yeah, allow the markets to come to you. Never chase it. And I think that's about all that's about all. I do want to go over an A+ setup here. But yeah. Let's go back to the markets here for a little bit. Let's see what are we doing here. 17 minutes left. Not very clear what we want to do here. Hourly, I don't know. We still have some time left. Let me go find an A+ setup here so I can review with you guys and Alright, so this is a plus setup. I remember this model. So it goes back to the same thing again. Why should we continue lower here on this, on the higher time frame wise, right? So higher time frame here, like I said, we could retrace. So we're not even in discount yet. So that means we have room for us to continue lower. So higher time frame, we are retracing back into discount. Another reason I want to see us rebalance this 30-minute fair value gap, right? We have only see a continuation in a rebalance of the 30-minute fair value gap here. So higher time frame here is telling us, okay, we're retracing back into discount and rebalancing a 30-minute fair value gap. Now, I want to take a model, right? This 15-minute model here is what I'm taking my trade off of. And based on how we created this 15-minute fair value gap, I can treat this 15-minute fair value gap as a breakaway gap, meaning I don't want to see prices retrace back inside this fair value gap. I want to see prices take out the 15-minute low first before we retrace back into here. So the entry pattern here for this trade here would have been at the 2-minute fair value gap. Because of how we created this 2-minute fair value gap, there's a possibility of us trading back into it and then continuing lower. It's not treated as a breakaway gap. It's a fair value gap that could be treated as a entry fair value gap. On the lower time frames here, you guys can see a little bit clearer, but we do trade up into that 2-minute fair value gap here at 2 o'clock open, tap it, and then we took out the 15-minute low, 30-minute low, and hourly low, which were in confluence with each other. And keep in mind, like I said, higher time frame wise, we can still see lower prices to rebalance this retrace back into discount and rebalance this 30-minute fair value gap. So that's an A+ setup. We have a bearish power of 3 model. We have breakaway gap theory, and there's time frame alignment between the 15-minute, the 30-minute, and the hourly. And there's 2 higher time frame objectives too. So A+ setup. And now I would go back to the live charts and kind of just watch PA here. One thing, like I said, I do want to keep in mind how we are trading on ES, because if we take out previous day low on ES and not NQ, then that would suggest there is a larger SMT, and you don't want to be in a trade when there's SMT or something like that. I'm not sure if this mic is able to pick up that music, but let's hope not. Okay, I'm afraid that it is. Alright. any means possible. About 10 minutes left here. About 10 minutes left here. And it is horrible PA. Let's go back to the give me a chance. Na, na, na. I'll be back. Promise I'll never let you down. uh, Need me a chance. Oh man, just nothing to really give thought to be honest. Not much to really pay attention to here today. Not much, if I'm being frank. I am most likely going to skip out on this first interval. So, like I said, based on how we close here in this 4 hour and this 8 hour, I am anticipating, we are about to close in about 2 minutes, so I'm not really anticipating like a complete reversal in 2 minutes, which is why I'm going to do this now. 4 hour, this 4 hour and this 8 hour is suggesting lower prices, right? So my morning objective is for us to take out the 4 hour and 8 hour low, which is that 2407 level. That would be my morning objective. If we complete the morning objective without giving me a model, I'm going to just turn off the charts and get on with my day. And yeah, that is my thought process here. That's about it. There's the 10 o'clock open. Like I said, my morning objective here is to take out that 4 hour low. So let me mark out a immediate rebalance on the 4 hour time frame here. So this is a actual immediate rebalance here. That would be considered a immediate rebalance. And let me put it on. Yeah, this would make sense. Okay. Immediate rebalance. 4 hour IMRB. Immediate rebalance. So there's the 4 hour immediate rebalance. So that is something that could happen. But yeah, like I said, there's not a model that I would have taken here for us to take out that 4 hour low. So skipping this interval, and like I said, if we do take out, if we accomplish the 4 hour objective, so this is the morning objective here. Let me note that out for you guys so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And we did that. We just did that. So morning objective. And notice how we just completed that morning objective already. And I feel like, yep, we did that too on ES. So morning objective has been accomplished. What am I going to do now? Close the charts. I'm sure I was able to break that down enough for you guys there just now. So hopefully that explains a little bit for you guys. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching today's live stream.